How do you sign your letters?
Here with a purpose.
Here with a purpose. And to one of those doctors who was not giving you much hope,
No.
you told him you were saved already. He didn't
Yeah.
have to save you.
You don't have to worry about saving me, I said. It's already been done.
And it seems, Kevin, I don't want to write words that aren't yours. I'm going to let you respond, but it seems that God did have some work going on in the midst of this journey. I wonder if you were even getting a kind of a rebooting with God.
Yeah.
You say he was more near to you than you've ever experienced.
For the past decade of my life, I've been ministering at camps in the South and talking and doing radio and television and all kinds of things for God. And in the same way that I think we honestly start in our journey to seek the glory and honor Him, we can get distracted by this iPod, Facebook type generation and just become distracted. And even the voice of God can become numb in our journey. And we start to rely on the teachings and the DVDs of other spiritual leaders and unplug ourselves from where God really wants us to be, which is really focused solely on our independent, individual relationship with Him. And at that point, there was in my room before surgery, I sat there in such a desperate place that I've never been before, gripping a framed family photo to my chest. I sat on my knees in my hospital bed and I just began to weep. And I said, God, if not you, then who? And if not now, then when? And I just sought His glory and all I just truly sought to be woven into Him, to experience that fragrance and that His presence so deeply. I was so desperate. And in that moment, something happened in me spiritually and physically that happens still today when I pray. A feeling in my body physically came upon me, and a voice was spoken into me that said, "Get up." And so I did. And I heard that voice again as I left my last radiation treatment. Walking down the hall, that same voice spoke to me and said, "It is finished."
Is that when you found out that you were cancer-free?
It was sometime later when the MRI came. But there were waypoints along the way. A very dear friend of mine, Carolyn, who also goes to my church, came to me in the congregation after one Sunday and she said, "Kevin, I have a word for you from God." I said, "Great, let's hear it." She said, "God told me to tell you that the tentacles that are in your brain left from surgery are gone." And I said, "Great, you did some research on my tumor. You know that it has a mass and tentacles like a jellyfish." She said, "No, I don't know anything about your tumor. But what I'm telling you is what God told me to tell you, and that is the tentacles that were remaining are gone." Weeks
You're still
later,
doing chemo because there's
I am.
one doctor
I'm doing
feels-
chemo because the doctors don't believe that my cancer is going to stay gone for long.
So that's to comfort them. There's the faith part, and then there's the
Right. There's that part of my
obedience
treatment
to-
that's driven by statistics, and then there's the other part of my life which is driven by faith. And it's not easy. I go through chemotherapy every month, and it's worse than any symptom I ever had when the cancer was in my body. It's horrible, and my heart goes out to those that are still going through chemo, just like me. I have several months left of chemo, and it's horrible. The reactions and the things that it does to your body, it's poison. It's designed to kill. And I'll be honest with you, it does feel, and sometimes that you're dying that slow death. It's horrible. It's horrible.
But you made a faith statement before you knew where this would go. I want to see this picture again with what could look like a question mark on your head. And you have your own caption with this picture. What is the faith statement you made and you want to share with others?
The word that God gave me in that, as I stood in the reflection of my mirror in the hospital room, was that, "Kevin, don't put a period where I only intended a comma. This is only a pause in your life. In the same way we put a comma to pause to think about the remainder of our sentence. Don't apply the proper punctuation to your current situation. Whereas doctors right now would have me to believe that there's a question mark on my future. I say, no. There's an exclamation mark on my today, my present, and any day and every day to come.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. And you didn't waste time with a lot of why.
No.
You just took hold of God, and you learned some things that I think God wanted you to learn about drawing near to God, about having more of God.
God brought me to a place of desperation. And I think my makeup and some of the things that I've been through in my life from my childhood through now, I think it's how God gets my attention. And it's in those moments that I lay down the image and the media profiles and the radio shows and all the things that I'm doing and the upward communications and this branding guy, and I lay all that down, and for a moment I just sit bare of any image or any title, and it's just me and him. And he's able to communicate to me, and then sometimes he has to bring me to a comma point, and he has at different times in my life. And we have to be obedient in those moments to allow God to download those things that he's trying to communicate, because as I've learned in my life, lessons will repeat themselves until they're learned. And God is so loving that he'll be so patient with you until his work that he started in you is perfected.
Do you get it now?
Yeah.
Our guest on this couch yesterday, very capable high achiever, came to that same place of bringing absolutely nothing to God, but all of herself. And that was the turning point.
It is true. We really have nothing. What can we provide?
I'm going to just honor you and inform our guests. Okay, quick bio. Can I do this?
By all means.
Kevin currently serves as the CEO and creative director of Upward Communications Incorporated. It's a sought-after branding, marketing, and consulting firm that has developed multi-million-dollar results for companies in over, I guess I better say 20 countries. He's the founder of Upward Outreach, a community-based arm of UpCom that offers alternative thinking and personal development resources dedicated to making a difference in young lives and future leaders. In addition to his executive role with UpCom and Upward Outreach, Kevin is also the creator and executive director of 2 radio programs, the Upward Minute, dedicated to marketing, branding, and business development, and Daily Adventures, where you are Mr. B.
I am Mr. B in
Mr.
Ottawa.
B, it's a children and family program, can be heard every Saturday morning on Family Radio 99.1 in Ottawa. Did you need a comma?
Yeah, my wife would say I needed a period.
Oh,
but
were your children, I bet, praying for you through this?
my daughter, who's 4 now, she lays hands on her daddy, and she prays for daddy and thanks Jesus for healing my boo-boo. And she tells me every day how much she loves me and how much she loves Jesus. And
Look at those treasures.
if anything, my legacy will continue as I'm so thankful that God's given me the time on earth to plant the seed of his son and his love. And my children are front row to God's miraculous ability to turn anything and any willing life that the world at one time thought was bad. God turns for good.
I love this Kevin quote. Don't allow your situation to define your future or your hope.
No.
Even if we hadn't had this medical miracle, you had a sure hope. You have a sure hope.
Indeed. Yeah, my life has been a series of excuses and reasons why I could and should be a failure. And I have just developed in me a pattern and an ability to take circumstances that would be detrimental in many lives and just use those as an opportunity and a platform to grow introspection, wisdom, and to roll that into future and greater success for myself and also for other people.
I've so looked forward to this day, and I just want to thank you for embracing faith. Our Truth to Go gal yesterday, Ruth Connard, said, faith is good for you. Faith is essential, whatever you're going through. One man said it is impossible for that man to despair who remembers that his helper, capital H, is omnipotent. Your helper is the same one who has helped Kevin in good times and bad, more than we're touching on today. This was just the next thing, wasn't it, Kevin?
It is.
It was just the next thing. I don't know what's going on in your journey, but Your helper does, and maybe you need to draw closer to him now. Don't wait for the total crash. Reach out to him now. We have people ready to help you make that connection, and Norma Claren is with them. Let's go to